Good evening, Estacada community. So glad to be a part of this great Facebook Live. Happy March to all of you. Hard to believe, actually, that we're already in the month of March. I'm sure you're feeling the same things too, and hopefully preparing for an up and coming restful spring break. My name is Ryan Carpenter, and I so very proudly serve as your superintendent of Estacada Schools. We come on to Facebook Live really about once every 2 months, really just to discuss hot topics, key things that are coming up inside your school district. And we want to be a part of this Facebook community. We want to be a part of a conversation where you have the ability to ask the superintendent questions about some of these hot topics. And I'm excited to have the chance to be able to answer some of those questions so we can keep people in the know and keep people out of the gossip. This is always a very fun opportunity for me, and I'm so glad of those of you who can join me tonight. I know so many of our families in our community is so busy. We're just getting started with spring sports and putting winter sports to bed, as well as just some other great activities happening throughout our community. So thank you for joining me tonight, and I'm so excited to share some big key updates with what's going on inside your school district. As many of you know, this is an opportunity for you to ask questions. Maybe you've heard some rumors out there on the streets, or maybe you've been cornered at the grocery store and been asked a question about the school district, and you didn't have that answer to it. This is the place to ask those questions. So please don't be shy. Feel free to type into the comments. We have Maggie Kelly, our communications director, sitting to my left-hand side, who will be monitoring the chat and asking those questions. Bring us any question you got, and we'll try our best to answer them to the best of our ability. That's the whole point of this process, and I've just greatly enjoyed this over the last 7 years, which is also hard to believe, of doing these Facebook Lives. So it's a privilege to be here tonight and excited to share the upcoming things happening inside the Estacada School District. I first want to take a moment to really highlight some very positive things that are occurring inside the Estacada schools. As you know, the Estacada School District prioritizes the 3 A's. That is academics, athletics, and the arts. We want to make sure that we are investing into those things so we can build a culture of champions, and so that we can make the holistic experience of public education be great for all kids with lots of opportunities, especially in a school district our size. I want to give, first of all, a big shout out to the men's wrestling program this year. For the first time in a long time, 10 students or 10 athletes qualified for the state championship tournament this year. Our men's wrestling program was so tough, and big praise to Brandon Lohmeyer and his big coaching staff for the great work that they poured into this. Many of you, if you're new here, you may not know, but Estacada is a very big traditional wrestling town. As long as I've been a part of this school district now, which is going on 18 years, wrestling has always been a huge priority for our community. And so I'm just so grateful to see this program continue to be successful under great leadership and great kids and tremendous community support. We had 10 kids go to the state championship, 6 of which made it to the final day. And we had a 3rd place placer and a 6th place placer. So congratulations to our men's wrestling program. Did a phenomenal job. You may not know this, but we also have a full women's wrestling program as well. Women's wrestling is becoming more and more popular across the United States. About 2 years ago, our school district made the decision to invest into a women's only wrestling team, which is coached by Estacada High School math teacher Nathan Allen, and he's done a tremendous job building this program. As you can see this picture on the screen here, you can see how many female students are a part of this program, and it's just continuing to grow. We're offering women's wrestling at the middle school level as well, and so this is a program that's going to continue to feed itself as this sport grows in popularity. We had 4 girls qualify for the state championship, one of whom was a placer. And so congratulations to both of our wrestling programs for just tremendous accomplishments this year. I'm also excited to share with you that our men's basketball program made the playoffs for the first time in 24 years. What a tremendous accomplishment. In fact, here's a party fact for you. The Estacada men's basketball program in its history has only made the playoffs 2 times. And so this is the 3rd time we've ever been in the playoffs. And we have a brand new coach named Travis McFarland who has just done a phenomenal job turning this program around just in 1 year and making us extremely competitive. If you haven't had a chance to come watch a men's basketball game this year, it's been so exciting. And at least 3 times that I've been to these games, the gym has been completely full with standing room only. It's really quite impressive. And so congratulations to our Estacada men's program. They don't know yet who they play. They'll learn that out tomorrow on Tuesday, but we are looking for a Friday playoff game, which will likely be away. But just so happy for these kids and a tremendous accomplishment. In addition to that, I don't want to forget about our women's basketball program as well. While they did not qualify for the playoffs, they had 11 wins this season. This is the most wins from our girls basketball program since 2009. And so I just wanted to recognize that as well, because this should be evidence to you that not only are we thriving in academics, maybe many of you saw the Oregonians newspaper or KGW Channel 8 or read an article in the Estacada News where we've been highlighted across the state for our tremendous graduation rate turnaround. But in addition to our athletic successes, or academic successes, we're also experiencing tremendous athletic successes as well. And I can't move on from this segment without giving a gigantic shout out to our winter musical, which was Newsies this year. If any of you had the chance to watch one of the 4 shows that they did about 3 weeks ago or a month ago, it was absolutely tremendous. I have seen 17 musicals in this district, and while many of them have been absolutely fantastic, this was my number 1 of the 17 that I've seen. Tremendous talent, tremendous coaching, tremendous leadership from Jordan Collins and Rendell Frunk, and our Estacada School District music staff have just done such a great job. And if you went to this thing, it would almost be like being at a Broadway play or down at the Keller Auditorium. It was that good. And so academics, athletics, and the arts are huge priorities for our school district, and we are thriving in all 3 of them. If you happen to watch any of those, a basketball game, a wrestling event, or the musical, please chat into the comments and let our community know just how great it was. Our kids are so talented, and there's just so many great things happening across our school district. Another piece of great news as you continue to chat in questions and comments about your experiences coming to one of these events, I'm also extremely excited to share with you that the Oregon Department of Education just came out with the enrollment reports and the difference between last school year and this school year. And I'm happy to share with you, our community, that the Estacada School District was the only school district in Clackamas County to grow in enrollment. All of the other 9 school districts lost students. And there's a myriad of factors that play into that. But at the end of the day, if you look at news articles across the United States of America, public education is losing students, and families are choosing to send their children to charter schools, to home schools, to private schools, different options than K-12 public education. What makes me so proud of this statistic is this tells me 2 things. 1, the Estacada community continues to grow, and that means families are moving their entire family into the Estacada community and sending their children to the Estacada School District. I've been told numerous times that we have families that are moving into these neighborhoods just so they can send their kids to the Estacada School District. Our reputation of being a great school district has completely transformed since COVID, really, over the last 5 or 6 years, and we've become a destination place for families wanting to send their kids, and I'm so very proud of that. The second reason why this growth is we're also retaining our families, is what this data indicates. And so families who are choosing to send their kids to the Estacada School District are also keeping their kids in the Estacada School District. And this, to me, is a great sign of academic health and organizational health. And so I was so excited to come onto Facebook Live tonight just to share this information with you so that you too can see, when you compare us to the other school districts in Clackamas County, we are killing it right now and just totally thriving amongst the opinions and voices of our families choosing to send their students to our school district and the families who are moving in to send their kids to our school district. So this is outstanding news, and I'm very proud of that. It takes an entire community to make a great school district. This isn't anything that I did. This is a great staff, great employees, great teachers, great families, and a great community. All of us together are making a great school district, and a thriving school district equals a thriving community. And vice versa, a thriving community equals a thriving school district. So this is a win for us all, and I hope you'll join me in celebrating that and sharing this information with others, because it really is that awesome, and I'm so proud of that. As many of you know, we are in the process, right in the middle, honestly, of our reconfiguration process, where River Mill Elementary School, starting next year, will be a kindergarten through 2nd grade, and Clackamas River Elementary School will be a 3rd grade through 5th grade school. I just wanted to tell you that this transition process is going very well and very smoothly, both internally and externally. We've already let the teachers know what building they're going to be at, what grade level they're going to be assigned to, and even what classroom they're going to be in. Now, I wanted to share this with you because you might have a kid that's a little bit nervous or anxious about going from one school to the next. The good news is, and I'd like you to share this with your kid, that many of the teachers that your kid has had or is going to have are also coming with them to that brand new school. So there's going to be a ton of familiar faces. There's going to be a ton of familiar friends and people inside your child's classes. I think that the concern needs to be little in terms of that transition. While I know it still exists, one of the good talking points from parent to kid is to let them know that some of their favorite teachers might be coming with them as well, and that's going to be a tremendous experience. I'm sharing this with you now because where we're at internally is really quite ahead of schedule, and things are going quite well in that area. We've now moved to the external part of the process, and one of the things that I know is near and dear to our parents' hearts when it comes to this reconfiguration process is parent pickup, bus routing, and walkers, and all of those types of components, which are very important both at the beginning of the school day and at the end of the school day. And I'm excited to share with you that to this point, we have had 2 big parent committee meetings, comprised primarily of parents, school principals. We have some transportation representatives as well, a part of this committee. And it's been a very positive experience. Parents are giving us feedback, efficient pickup procedures in preparation for our upcoming reconfiguration. And here are the big things that we have heard so far. Establishing traffic flows and what that looks like. Shuttle buses, what does that look like? Video communications, and how will we communicate the flow of how traffic works? Extending paths beyond Estacada High School to the Hillway Road and Hillway neighborhood, making sure that everybody has a safe route to walk. And you can see here on this slide, and you can see the numbers of people who have participated in this. And right now, what we're hearing so far is some of the most hot topic issues of things this committee is addressing is really those top two: establishing parent pickup traffic flows, yellow bus traffic flows, and then how are we going to transport and shuttle students from one school to the next so they can join with their siblings, get on a bus, and make it home. Now, I do want to say all of this is still a work in process. This is where we're at in the process, and so please ask questions if you have them on our social media chat. Your opinions are absolutely welcomed in this process, but there are some things even I don't have the answers to because this is still being built by this committee. And so please don't be disappointed if I'm saying, hey, that's a really great question. We'll have to get back to you on that, because that's just where we're at in the process. There are no secret plans in the background. There are no, anything else you can think negatively about it. We're just building this thing, and we're collecting as much input as possible, and your input is appreciated as well. So we've had about, 10 or 20 minutes of me just talking. Hopefully some things have come into the chat, giving us the opportunity to respond. Again, this is why we're here. I have some more stuff to talk about, but let's pause right here to go over to Maggie Kelly, our Director of Communications, to see what the chatter looks like.
Yeah, we have some great questions. I want to thank everyone for being respectful and on topic. So without further ado, let's get into them. The first question from Matt is, why do we not have programs like Sun and Champions for after school?
Great question. We used to have Champions, believe it or not, I'd say about 4 or 5 years ago, and it started out very successful, but Champions bumped their price significantly higher than what they used to have it at, and a lot of our parents self-selected out of it. We do have daycare offerings, and there's a lot of local folks that run their own small businesses running daycares. Tiny Timbers is an example of that, where I think they have 2 locations on our school campus, and 1 location they just purchased, the Red Barn preschool, about 1.5 years ago, and they've been great partners with us. I can think of 2 or 3 different daycares where a lot of our families employ and work through that process, but if I'm understanding, because I remember Champions being an after-school daycare service. We've tried that one before, and really it was our parents, through demand, self-selected themselves out of that. It used to be at Rivermill in the cafeteria, and our parents no longer were using it, and so we ended up phasing it out. But childcare is definitely a demand in this community. I think if more people wanted to open up their own business to allow for that type of thing, I think the demand is definitely there. And childcare is obviously a high priority for many families, and we try our best. It's not our responsibility to provide daycare for families, but we do try our best to partner with people, and we allow many places on campus for businesses to rent so that it's convenient for parents. Thank you for that question.
Our next question comes from Janae, and I think you mostly addressed this, but if you want to comment anything else, she wants to know, are we planning to change the schools and split up grade levels between Rivermill and Clackamas River next year?
Yes is the answer to that question. So starting next year, Rivermill Elementary School will have all students kindergarten through 2nd grade, and Clackamas River will have all students 3rd through 5th grade. And the reason of the primary reason for that is primarily student capacity. Right now, Rivermill Elementary School has about 530 students in it, and Clackamas River has just a little bit under 400 students in it. Rivermill is over capacity, primarily because because that's where the new neighborhoods are growing and that's where people are moving into. And so what we've decided to do through a lot of committee work is really we just need to balance that enrollment out. And so by moving to a K2, 3, 5, we'll have roughly about 400 students in each building. And so you will see a reduced impact in traffic just because we'll have 120 less people at Rivermill, and we will be balancing that out. But that's our primary reason for doing that. I'm also excited about this move, though, because I'm really excited about having all 6 kindergarten teachers in one building together, working as a team, mix and matching kids when we're talking about different learning skills to be taught, intervention opportunities, plus teachers have the opportunity to collaborate with each other. So when they're doing strategies that are working, they can more efficiently share those with the other teachers so we can continue to deploy strategies that we know are working in terms of student achievement, and we can delete the strategies that we know aren't working. And that continuous improvement mindset is one of the things that has our school district out in the forefront right now. This is where we're getting a lot of the newspaper recognition and those types of things, is because we're making decisions based on data, and our ability to have all grade level teachers together as one team working together, I think is only going to make us better. I appreciate that question. Thank you so much.
As we talk about capacity, a thoughtful question from Taylor, who wants to know, how is our high school going to handle the high volumes of kids coming into our district in the coming years?
That is a lovely question. Thank you, Taylor, for asking it. And the question is, I don't know. You're absolutely right. When you look at really our kindergarten through 8th grade level, that's where the majority of our growth is. Right now, our high school is still kind of small, but we all know that the growth is coming from the younger kid age. The good news is our high school, built in 1965, has the ability to house 1,000 students. Now, I don't believe that, as I've spent many years inside this high school, but the capacity says 1,000 students. Right now, we're at about 560 students in Estacada High School, so we do have room for growth of about 300 or 400 people. But like the question you're asking, I believe that the growth is going to continue to boom in Estacada, and I think this problem in about 2 or 3 years is going to reach crisis levels. And this is why we've tried to go out for a bond the last couple of times to increase the capacity of Estacada High School, but at this point we have not put a package together that can get 50.1% of our community to support that. That doesn't mean we're giving up. We're going to try again soon. We're not sure when or what that looks like, and we need a lot more community input to steer us in that direction. But at some point, it is inevitable. Our community is going to have to invest in its school district in order to handle the capacity issues coming our way, which I can see loud and clear. But again, it takes the whole community to see that and invest in that.
Next question comes from Matt, who asks, what is the cause or barriers of offering more after-school programs, whether that's in art, academics, or athletics?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, when it comes to athletics, we have lots of offerings for kids to engage in. Even at the middle school level, we're one of the few school districts that's made an intentional effort to invest in middle school athletics. Many school districts still don't have any middle school athletic opportunities, and so I'm very proud of that. We've also increased considerably, primarily at the high school level, our clubs. We now have a competitive video gaming club. We have different religious clubs that are growing at the middle school level as well. And so there are several opportunities for our students. We do rent out our facilities for daycares. I think we have 4 different classrooms that are being rented, classrooms and portable space that are being rented by daycares, which a lot of our families are choosing to participate in. But I do want to be clear, while we do try our best to help parents with their daycare needs. At the end of the day, that is not the primary responsibility of the school district. Our charge is really to serve kids from 7:30 to 3:30, to make sure that they're learning at grade level and are being successful in the classroom. The responsibility does not fall upon us, nor do we get any type of funding whatsoever to offer after-school daycare activities. This is where the small businesses and the private sector comes into play to meet the needs of our parents. But that being said, I would say if you compared our school district with other school districts similar size to Estacada, we offer double the opportunities than most school districts, and I'm pretty pleased with where we're at the moment.
Amanda asks, does the enrollment numbers that you shared on a previous slide include Summit Learning Charter, since they're a part of our district?
They do not. This is just Estacada K-12 proper. But the good news is Summit Charter School also continues to grow. But it's important to note that Summit Charter School is a statewide school. Really only about, I think it's 8 or 9% of their entire 1,400 kids enrollment is Estacada kids. They serve kids from Salem, they serve kids from Baker, they serve kids from Medford. So they have about 1,400 kids. They're also growing, which is good financially for the Estacada School District as well. But when you think about the total enrollment of Summit, a really tiny portion of it is actually Estacada families. And the majority of students who do go to Summit Charter are students that never really would have gone to Estacada in the first place, meaning that they have chosen to homeschool the entire student's career, or for religious reasons, maybe they're a part of a church homeschool group, and so they use Summit's curriculum to do the homeschooling as kind of a cohort of families doing that. And so we're proud to be able to sponsor a charter school that gives families the options and that's still beneficial financially to our school district. But back to your original question, the data that you see there is just our K-12 proper.
A question from Marissa, who asks, will there be more committees for next year's reconfiguration beyond just the parent pickup group?
I don't see any at the moment. However, I'm never afraid, if we see a problem, to put that problem into the hands of a committee where we can get some very good people to take a look at some of the most wicked problems that we're facing. At this point, our focus is primarily on parent pickup because we know that that is a passionate issue for many of our families, and so we wanted to put that on our parents' plate. I thought that our school district did a great job of advertising for that committee. The committee is gigantic. There's a lot of people who are participating in that process. But as more things come, I'm absolutely certain we would have a committee. But as soon as we finish this committee, the next work that we're doing is really prioritizing the physical move of teachers, classrooms, furniture, all of that kind of stuff, because starting in June, we need to make that transition very seamlessly so that we're ready to serve kids on day one next year.
And we're having conversations about what do open houses look like?
Yep.
What does opportunities look like to expose kids to the new school, tour around so that they feel comfortable with the new school?
Good point.
A question from Geneva, who says, you say that our growth is because families are choosing Estacada over online or homeschooling. She says that she tried to enroll her student in Summit and they had closed registration from Estacada students because of the amount of transfers that they had had. And she says that charter schools cannot have more than 3% of enrollment from a specific district.
Yeah, and that is true, the law. The truth of the matter is we have a separate contract with Summit because we're their sponsoring district. And while the law states at minimum no more than 3, our agreement with Summit is no more than 10%. And so they do have the ability to go past that 3% law, just not to exceed 10%. And they have been very good about that. And again, the demand is kind of right in that 9, 10, 11% mark. They do close off enrollment, not only just for Estacada families, but for the entire state, because they also, as you know, across the state, and I just showed you the data, lots of families all over the state are leaving K-12 education, and Summit is making a business decision as well as a control decision to really cap that growth limit so it doesn't grow beyond their control. And so they're very conservative as well in terms of how many students they take on during the school year and how many students they take on at the beginning of every school year. And all of that is a mathematical factor, a business factor, and all of the above. I think if they just open the lid, I think people from all over the state, Salem, Clackamas, Gresham, Hermiston, I'm just trying to make up names everywhere, Grants Pass, there would be a flood. Summit Charter School is the third largest charter school in the state of Oregon, and it has the highest student outcome ratios. And so this is, it's a very successful program. We're very proud of it. They're a great partner of ours, and we encourage anybody that wants, we believe in school choice. And so if families want to choose that pathway, they are more than welcome to do that. But because we believe in school choice, we also put a competitive product together, even as a public education system. And the data would say that the competitive product that we're putting there is leading to tremendous growth in our K-12 proper schools as well. So great question. I really appreciate that, and hopefully that answer was helpful.
Another thoughtful question for Matt, who says that his student feels disenfranchised about class participation due to riding the early transfer bus and hopes that more kids don't have to experience this starting next year. And as someone who has been working with the committee, this is a conversation that we've had a lot. Our primary goal with this is to maximize student time in the classroom and minimize student time on the bus or transferring between schools. So that's a conversation that we are definitely having.
Yeah, Matt, I'll be the first to admit, as many others would too, our current transfer bus process is not perfect. It gets the job done, but it's not perfect. And so part of the committee's charge is to take a look at that to see how it can impact students less. Because right now in some schools on many given days, students actually have to leave their class early so they can catch the transfer bus to catch the other bus on time. And this is a logistical issue that we're aware of, and we're hoping to improve that with this reconfiguration process. So you're right on the money there, and I see it too.
And our last question from Marissa for now. People keep putting your comments in.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the input. Marissa wants to know, how can parents or community members support our teachers through this reconfiguration and move process?
That's a great question, and I would encourage you to reach out to your building principal to see what help could be provided. I know in the summertime, our custodial staff has a monumental task of really moving a ton of things, and if that's something that's in your wheelhouse, I'm sure we would appreciate that volunteerism and support. You're also more than welcome to reach out to your child's teacher to see if there's any type of packing needs. We are going to be providing some days and contract time for our teachers to have the time to be able to pack the things they want. Our teachers won't be the ones physically moving it. They're just going to be putting their stuff in boxes, labeling it, so then ultimately our custodial team can take those boxes and move them to their appropriate place in an efficient manner. But it takes a village to be successful. And I love your question, and I love the spirit in which you're asking that question. And I would encourage you to reach out to your local building to see where help could be best used. Thank you so much for that. Okay. So as we move on and love this conversation, please continue to participate. I'm just grateful for this opportunity, and I do appreciate the respect that's being provided inside of this framework. And Facebook Live can be a scary place. I see the comments, I see the untruths, I see the attacks, all of the above. And I just love coming onto this spot where we get to have a conversation like this. So I just sincerely want to thank you, and please keep asking those questions. Let's talk about cell phones. I want to tell you, This summer, I was probably the most skeptical about taking or not allowing our students to use cell phones, which was a law by the state of Oregon that was passed at the beginning of the school year. And I thought there is absolutely no way this generation of child could live a single minute without a screen in front of them, or that thing vibrating in their pocket, or the next TikTok or whatever else it is that's available to them. But I have been pleasantly pleased and surprised. Kids are doing a great job of following the rules. We're seeing more and more positive social interactions at school. We're seeing less fights. We're seeing less bullying. And I mean that. Our bullying numbers are considerably down, both cyberbullying and in-person bullying. We're seeing more students engage in activities together, and our teachers are reporting more participation in class, which is just fantastic feedback and evidence. But I did want to use this as an opportunity because now we're in the month of March. I have noticed over the last month or so that students are kind of pivoting back to that cell phone use a little bit, and that responsibility is on us. Our teachers are doing their best jobs. Our vice principals are doing their best jobs monitoring it, but I sure could use your help as we come into the spring months to just reinforce and remind your child that cell phones are not allowed during the school day on campus in the Estacada School District or anywhere else in the state. And if we do catch students, the first time is really a warning. The second time we take the phone for the day, but then give it back to the kid at the end of the day. And the third violation, you, the parent, are coming to pick up that phone and have a great conversation with our school administration. And so I just wanted to be really clear on that because, again, as we reinforce this law and this policy, and in all honesty, what is the right thing to do and the healthy thing to do for this generation of kids, just continue to be patient with us as we enforce that law and enforce that policy. And I hope none of you have to be inconvenienced by coming to school to get your child's phone. But if in case that happens, we would love your support and we would love your team work, us being on your team and you being on our team to reinforce these very important lessons for our students as they learn to navigate a life that does have so much technology a part of that. So that's kind of my cell phone update, and just wanted to remind folks of that as we begin to buckle down again to remind our kids that that is not allowed during the school day. Again, Read Day, that's the things that happen on Friday. For those of you who are new or unsure of what Fridays actually look like for us, Read Day traditionally has been our teachers analyze the weekend's student data, and we invite students who are struggling to learn the grade level standard, giving them some intervention opportunities in a small group setting for our teachers to reteach, to give students a new opportunity to reassess maybe a test that they failed, or an opportunity to dive deeper into a specific unit or topic or a study of learning type process. It has been wildly successful for us. And again, when you talk about student enrollment, like I shared, I think this is a big plus for our parents, who are very much enjoying opportunities to take a longer weekend and to do things for their family as well. It's a very family-first decision in terms of our Read Day process. However, I want to state that one of the changes that we're going to be piloting from now through the rest of the school year is we really want to give all kids the opportunity, should they choose, to be able to come to Read Day on Fridays. At the elementary school, at the beginning of the year, they kind of do chunks of kids so kids can feel comfortable, learn routines in the school system, and so teachers can just work in small groups with selected kids to improve learning opportunities. Now that we're through that process, we really want to give all kids the chance, if they feel like they need to come into read day, to have the opportunity to be with their teacher, retake a test, or be retaught a standard that they haven't yet mastered or demonstrated proficiency in. And so, effective this coming Friday, if you want to send your child to read day, you are more than welcome to do that. You have the green light to put your kid on the bus or drop them off at school and enjoy that 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock a.m. time slot to participate with your teacher. But again, this is entirely parent choice. We are a parent choice school district. And so if you're headed to the beach that weekend, or your kid needs to, I don't know, split a cord of firewood at home, that's entirely your option and your choice to have. And honestly, when we invite people, about 50% of the kids we invite end up coming anyways. And so an elementary classroom of 25 kids, if 25 of them are invited, the data tells us about 12 to 15 show up. And so I'm just encouraging you that this shift will allow every elementary student the opportunity to participate, and we're going to continue to provide targeted small group instruction and individualized learning support. So this is breaking news. This is the first time I'm saying this publicly, but for those of you watching on Facebook Live, you're the people who are diving deep into your school district, and I wanted to make sure you were aware that that option was available to you should you choose it. Okay, that is what's going on inside the Estacada School District. A lot of big things in the making. We're also working on budget stuff right now, and we're just going through the process of spring activities and spring sports. We're preparing for parent-teacher conferences, which is Monday and Tuesday after the spring break, and so this gives parents the opportunity to speak with teachers before we finish the school year strong, and it also gives families the extended ability to lengthen their spring break trip should they choose to do that. So again, very parent-friendly school calendar, a very parent-friendly school district, and we're working hard to meet the needs of our community. Because at the end of the day, what sets us apart from other K-12 school districts is we're here to serve you, and we're here to educate your child. And educating your child is our number one charge. It's not daycare. It's not political ideology. We need your kid to read at grade level. We need your kid to do math at grade level. And we are solely focused on doing that. And this calendar supports our ability to do that for you. So thank you so much for this opportunity. And Maggie, I'm going to pass it to you to see if we've got some more great questions.
We don't have any more questions, but we do have a comment from Sarah that I wanted to give you the opportunity to address.
All right.
She says that I don't feel like it should have been select kids in elementary. Any kids struggling should have been invited, not left behind.
Yep, and I appreciate that opinion, and that's exactly the direction we're moving to. And that was not only your opinion, but many other opinions, including many of our teachers as well. But again, at the elementary level, to begin the school year, I'm sure you'll also understand that specifically when talking about kindergartners, first graders, and second graders, our ability to select in that way kind of allows kids to feel a little bit more comfortable in their classroom. It allows our teachers to build deeper relationships with a small group setting. That's been very effective for us. And then, of course, I also support our teachers' ability to hand select the kids that they feel like they need to work with most in order to catch them up with the rest of the class. As long as I've been doing this, I've also been criticized because sometimes Monday through Thursday, our teachers have to slow down the learning so that kids can catch up. And I get criticism from our families of students who have already mastered it in the first try, and they want more and they want it faster. And so this is kind of the process that we've established so that we can keep learning on pace Monday through Thursday to support all kids, but then the ability on Friday to hand select kids to really get them caught up because the pace of Monday through Thursday is working so fast. But just like your opinion, starting this Friday to the end of the school year, the elementary school will be opening it up for families that want to send their kids from that 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock read day. So we're with you, and I hope that you have a great experience sending your kid to read day. Thank you.
Another comment that we had from Geneva, she says her understanding is that middle school parents are pulling their kids out, and she was wondering if you'd be willing to share our transfer rates.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll admit that we do have people leaving. This data is not indicative of people come and go. All this data tells us is more people are coming to our school district than are leaving our school district. But sure, there are people all the time that come and go. There are people who leave and then come back. It's an ebb and flow. All public schools are like that. People move, people leave, people go to charter school. They don't like the charter school. They then come back. By the way, most of the time they're significantly behind after they go to that charter school and then come back. And so that's just the nature of the business that we're in. But at the end of the day, you are correct. There are people who leave. I know of those people as well. But there are more people who are coming to our school district than who are leaving our school district. And I think that's pretty cool. I hope you believe that as well.
A question from Sherry, who says that her daughter is struggling with sixth grade math and has an IEP. She goes to Read Day, but the parent is not sure if she's getting the help that she needs.
Yeah, that's a great question. And the first advice I would give to you is to make sure that you go to your case manager of the person who is responsible for the oversight of that IEP, or speak to your school's principal or vice principal to make sure they're getting the things that they need. This is not a perfect system. We're trying our best to do the best we can inside this system. But if you have thoughts or opinions, again, we're a team. And I want you to think of yourself as a teammate of ours. And so if we're missing in some particular way, the best way to work through that process is to reach out to your child's case manager and reach out to teachers and reach out to the principals. We believe in customer service. We believe in supporting our parents through the educational experience. And I hope after doing that, you will find that being a good experience and a positive experience for you. And I really appreciate that feedback. Thank you.
A comment from Sarah in a similar vein. She says, I shouldn't have to insist for my son to be invited when struggling with reading.
Yes, nope, we agree. And this is why we're making this change, because now you can just send your kid. Our teachers know exactly where your kid is at, and hopefully we can get them the supports they need. If not the teacher itself, a paraeducator, a case manager, a school psychologist. We are a big ship, and we've got a lot of people ready to support kids. And so I hope that this change will make for a better experience for you. And again, thank you for that comment.
Well, that is all of our questions at this time. Again, thank you everyone for weighing in with your questions, input, compliments, concerns. We really appreciate the contribution.
Awesome. And I just want to conclude by saying great things are happening inside our school district. It should be a shared win that we should all be so very proud of. But I also understand, and I'm realistic, that this is the grind of any school year. Really, February, March, and April are the toughest times. It's when our employees are the most fatigued. It's when parents are fatigued. And it's even when our students are fatigued from all the learning that they've been doing this year. Plus, the weather is starting to get nicer as well, and summertime is starting to kick into our brains. And so we're working our very hardest. We're trying to put the best organization for you and this great community. I'm proud of where we're at today, but I'm also mindful, and I'm always monitoring and watching to make sure that we're doing the very best that we can for our kids. There is no perfect school district. There is no perfect entity. You can shop around to all of the different places you want to, and there will always be a shortcoming in that process. Your feedback is important to us so that we can make the best improvements we can to continue this great school district on the rise that it's on. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope you have a great night, and we will see you at the next one. Thank you so much.